Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, you know, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham and I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And we are here to continue our journey on season 18 of Sister Wives.
Yes. What episode is this, Brooke?
Episode 7.
Good job.
It's called Throwing in the Towel.
Ooh.
Now, this episode is interesting because we have two conversations going back and forth. We have Robyn and Meri who are getting together at Meri's house.
Actually, inside Meri's house, which is very exciting.
She
on the Colleen's consignment couch.
Yeah, on the bankruptcy lawyer's couch.
Yeah.
Robyn was led inside. Meri actually extended the courtesy of letting her
She's
come
like,
in.
if I'm going to have to tell her all this, at least maybe it would be nice if I kept her warm or something.
Yeah, some months have gone by. It's a little warmer. And then we have Janelle and Christine juxtaposed, meeting for lunch at
Salsa Brava, the only restaurant in Flagstaff.
The only restaurant in Flagstaff that will let these people film there.
Yes. And then in between all of this is we get Kody. We get Kody with his visor driving.
In the convertible.
We get Kody in the confessionals. We get Kody doing this, Kody doing that.
We got Kody out on Coyote Pass, sitting on a log, looking
contemplating.
Yeah, looking at the mountain.
Why are all these women torturing me like this? I'm so wonderful. Why are they doing this to me?
Yeah.
So where should we start? Should we start with Janelle and you want to start with Janelle and Christine or Robyn and Meri?
Well, let's see. I think I don't know how to do this because it's literally like
back and forth.
Back and forth. Well, let's start with Janelle and Christine.
Okay.
So Christine says that she's gotten some intel from Janelle's kids saying that things are really bad between she and Kody. So the last episode, she basically told them she didn't want to see him.
Yes. She wanted to stay separated. And so this is now a month later.
Yeah.
That was, what was that? Was the last one Valentine's Day? And so now we're in mid-March. Is this where we are now?
Well, when Kody and Janelle met at Salsa Brava, I thought it was 6 weeks after their fight.
And that was
mid-January.
Oh,
right.
Oh, I thought that was February because they were talking about Valentine's Day. Remember, Christine was doing those portraits, the Valentine's Day portraits.
So maybe it's March.
I think it's mid-March,
something like that
by now. But anyway, so it's now March. So it has been many months.
Been a couple months.
Yeah.
So Janelle says that she went to go see Nancy, their family therapist, and Janelle's using all the therapy terms.
Yes. It's okay for me to change. Change is okay. I have the right to change.
I am growing.
Yes, I'm growing.
And sometimes your partner comes along and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, this is exactly what Nancy said to her. And she's like, okay, I have the right to grow and change. She's got the little sticky notes everywhere.
Yeah. And Christine is listening and she's saying, oh, okay. Yeah, good. Great. And so I think Janelle's sort of warming up to this.
Yeah.
And she's saying that she needs something different. And then she drops the bomb and says she does not want to be married anymore.
Yeah. Well, she says, I can't think of a reason to want him back, which is really huge. And again, she just points out everything that's been going on. And that, I mean, I think, talking about the treatment of her boys, and I just think that she's not saying this, but I think what she's really saying is too much has happened. Like it's too, we can't come back from this.
The
like
negative
too much
far outweighs the positive. Whatever quote unquote affection she still has for him or whatever. Yeah. He went too far.
Yeah.
He really went too far.
And then let's see. Oh, and this was the other thing. Did she say this right after? It's like back and forth. But she says that she can't point out any actual outright reason. Like she was like, there was never any abuse. There was never any neglect. Yeah. And it was like, well, come on. Really?
There was emotional abuse.
Yeah.
For sure. She's very hung up on the religious aspect of it, because she still believes in this religion, unlike Christine, who doesn't, she doesn't need a reason.
Yes.
Janelle really needs a reason. She feels guilty, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's why she's saying that there was no abuse. And it's like, yeah, Janelle, there was abuse. There was abuse towards you. There was abuse towards your kids. There was neglect for many, many years where he put other people before you, took you for granted.
Yeah.
All of it. So I think she's just not there yet. She's just trying to come to terms with this is very hard for her, the religious aspect of it.
Yes. Well, and then Kody says that he's been calling her regularly to see if she wants to get back together. I thought that was weird. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And then interspersed with all this too are these, these scenes of Christine putting her 2 cents in. And she basically just says that, she doesn't think that Kody is capable of more. He's not capable of being better with anybody.
Yeah.
Her, Meri, Janelle, whoever. And that he just likes to string people along. And, she doesn't want to see Janelle get strung along.
Yeah. And then they have this debate about whether or not they think is this who, because Janelle says, I think this is who he's always been. And Christine's like, really? You think so? I think that he's changed. He's become this. And it seems like the consensus with Robyn and Meri are also that he changed, that he's so angry that he's changed. But I thought it was very interesting that Janelle, it's almost like Janelle is going back and thinking about it and thinking, is this who he's always been? Like maybe I just never saw it before.
Because I think what she's talking about is who he is at his core in terms of being selfish, narcissistic, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Meri and Christine are more focusing on his kind of outward demeanor, being that happy-go-lucky guy who everybody liked to be around. And he was dynamic and bold. They use all these words. And I mean, that's true too. He is none of those things anymore.
Yeah.
But I think what Janelle is saying is deeper. Is that like, has he always just been this selfish and self-centered? And we're just now like, coming around to
he's always
noticing
been,
it.
Yeah. I think that's what she's seeing and saying.
And then interspersed in here, before we forget, is Kody takes Robyn's kids out to Coyote Pass because he wants to get out there on the mini bikes. And then there's this scene of Saul and Ari on the couch basically saying their mom does not like this at all, does not want them on these mini bikes.
Yes.
And
they weren't even on the mini bikes. It was the older kids. We just saw Brianna.
Well,
Who was on?
That was Aurora, but she wasn't on a mini bike. She was on like a 4-wheeler ATV type of thing, and she was doing donuts. I mean, she was like really, it said Aurora on there.
Oh.
It looked like a very experienced, no, she was on a big quad.
Yeah, I was
something.
wondering who that was. I kept trying to figure out, like, who is that?
No,
so that's Aurora. And then on the mini bikes, I saw Brianna, but that's it. We didn't see. So
I thought we did see Saul and Ari.
Were they out there on the mini bikes?
I think they were.
This is the best. Is Kody at the end is laughing. He's like, "Oh, they're going to be sore tomorrow because these mini bikes are just a bucket of bolts." It's like, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you're buying your children?
Doesn't sound very safe.
Then you want them to what? Like, you decide to get them these things that you claim are safe, and then you're like, oh, it's just a bucket of bolts. They're going to be, okay. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the little kids like it or not.
No, they don't. But don't you notice, like, Sarah and Ari, they don't seem to be all that into it. Like, I don't think they care or even want it, or...
No.
They're so like, oh, whatever.
And their mom has drilled it into them that, she doesn't want them on the bikes, but yet you can hear them parroting Kody by saying something like, oh, well, we just have to get used to it or learn how to use it or something like that.
Well, Brooke, it'll help them when they learn to drive later.
Right.
If they have a sense of how to use a mini bike, because it's so similar to a car.
It's the same thing. Yeah, he's talking about they'll know how to use a throttle. It's like, cars don't have throttles, Kody. How's that going to help?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we're back. So we're continuing along. So yeah, and Janelle, but Janelle also says that she's like, but I just can't do this anymore if he's advocating for patriarchy.
Yeah.
Like that. And I think that's the other part of it too, is the other big thing that she has is I don't think I'm so hurt and upset by the way in which he treated my children. That stings. It stings really heavy duty. And in order for us to rebuild, every time we talk about rebuilding, we're talking about patriarchy. And I think maybe that's where she's sort of like, has it always been patriarchy? Like, was this always you're right. Maybe she was starting to piece everything together and see that maybe we thought it was one thing this whole time, but it really wasn't.
Yeah. And then let's see, a lot of this is like Meri and Rob, and let's see, what else did Christine and Janelle says that
So they bring up the whole Robyn thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about the fact that this is not their imagination, you know, that Robyn really was prioritized and no matter what Kody wants to say. And then Janelle said that after the last appointment with Kody, she said after she left, she said she felt like a weight was lifted. And she's feeling optimistic, and she hasn't even cried.
But apparently she doesn't cry that much. She cried when Christine left.
Yeah.
That was devastating. But Kody, not so much. But I thought, Janelle does mention, she's like, one of the issues is we could never bring anything up about Robyn.
Right. It was just shot down.
Kody would get defensive and always have the same party line of Robyn's perfect. She's so sweet. Look how much she's done for us. Blah, 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 blah. She's so wonderful. And what Janelle's really trying to say is, and this is the part that Kody doesn't understand, it's like, we have to be able to, it can't always be that she's always right and perfect and that we're always wrong. And I think that's the other thing that she's thinking about. And I think Janelle's also thinking like, I'm going to be left alone with him and Robyn. Like, is it just going to be the three of us? I don't want that.
No, because it'll be even
worse. And then there was, and then they get into the whole childcare thing because Christine was saying that when she hired that nanny, that it felt like it was a line in the sand, that she always wanted this separate childcare, and that this I thought was very interesting. This idea of that. How Kody felt about you was gauged based on how Robyn felt about you.
Right. Or how Robyn saw a situation.
Yeah. So everything was always through Robyn's eyes. So if you were being nice to Robyn, then Kody liked you. If you were agreeing with Robyn, Kody liked you. But even that, if you think about it, but Meri and Robyn have always been super tight and always been very aligned on everything. So you would think if that was do you know what I mean? But it sounds like even with Meri, he doesn't even want her then.
Didn't want to hear it.
Yeah. It's very selective.
Really is.
So, let's see what else. Christine really wants to gossip a lot about Kody and Robyn, but Janelle feels like I'm not ready. And
then they basically make a commitment to each other, and they say that we'll always be sister wives. We're a package deal.
Yeah.
If somebody gets married or whatever, that they have to know that the other one and their kids to come along with the And and I remember Christine saying that in that People magazine interview. It was the video that was online. And she said when she met David, she told him, Janelle is with me. Her kids are my kids. Where I go, they go. They're just a part of my family. And are you okay with that? And he's like, sure.
Yeah. So they are a package deal. And so that's their part.
So Robyn and Meri's
this whole thing is so bizarre.
Their conversation was
weird.
Really, it was
like in circles, and
frustrating.
I mean, it was very frustrating because God, just talk, just say what's really going on.
Yeah.
It's like always the Meri and the both of them are talking around it, and then Meri will say it. But you know what it is,
and she walks it back.
Yeah, you know what. I really feel for Meri because I think what we're seeing is Meri really wanted to make this work with Kody. She really wants this. And it's horrible to be rejected on television. It's horrible to be rejected, period. It's horrible to be rejected on television. It's horrible to have to then watch it back and see how much you're rejected. And I think that she is constantly battling with herself of how much do I reveal of how hurtful this is to me. That I think sometimes she's like, oh, I want to come off as the cool girl and I'll just, make it seem like, oh yeah, I know he's over me, or, oh, I know this. And then we see these other moments where she is very like, he's done with me. He doesn't want anything to do with me. And I need to go. And then it's very sad that she doesn't even want to admit all of that for fear that he wouldn't care, which he doesn't care.
Yeah, this was hard. I really felt for Meri because because she's like 90% there, but she just can't like pull the, go the rest of the way. She can't just come out and say, look, Kody's done with me. We're never getting back together.
Yeah. And I don't want to be, I don't want to be around this anymore.
Right. And she says, I never even talked to you guys.
Yeah.
She said, I barely ever talked to Kody. Robyn, who acts like she and Meri are so tight and she wants her to hang in there with her and be her sister wife. She says, Robyn never calls me.
Yeah. She said she was on her own for COVID.
Yeah. The last 2 years, Robyn hasn't called her. Robyn hasn't reached out. And she basically tells Robyn, if you want to continue to have a relationship with me, you have to call me, reach out to me, tell me if there's something happening here that you want me to come to or whatever. So she tells Robyn, because it keeps changing. So I'm moving my clothing business there. I'm selling this house, but I'm still going to have a place here in Flagstaff. Yeah.
So I'm still going to rent a place.
She says she's downsizing.
And then but she'll just be at the B&B more.
See, that's the thing. She can't even admit that she's going to be at the B&B the majority of the time.
Yeah.
And she will come to Flagstaff. She even said this. When needed.
Yeah. When she needs to film.
And if
there's something for the kids.
Something with the kids. Exactly. And she's very nervous, to tell Robyn this, she's breathing heavy. She's very nervous. And, she's trying to say she's tired of driving back and forth. It's 5 hours each way. And then, of course, Robyn makes it all about her.
Ugh, yeah.
Like, well, I think Robyn is starting to see the writing on the wall throughout this conversation. That, oh my God, now Meri's leaving.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, but Robyn does say more than once, and at one point Robyn does say, I feel selfish saying this. And it's like, thank you. You finally said something that's very real, Robyn. Thank you. Which is, you know, this battle that she has back and forth with Meri between what she said towards the end of the episode of, you know, I don't know if I should just tell her to go find the happiness she wants or if to stay and rebuild the relationship. And that's the other thing too, is it's like, you know, Robyn, if you really cared about Meri, you would let her go. Like you would let her leave. You would want to see her happy. You would not want to see her here. And the thing that they're not talking about is it's obviously very clear that Kody does not want to be with Meri. Meri wants to be with Kody. And it's almost this weird, I wonder with Robyn, if it's almost like a weird pull for her to almost like the fact that she is, you know, that here's Meri pining away for this person that is in love with her. Right. It's this weird thing. Like someone who cared would want to see that person happy, but it's almost like she wants to see, I don't know if she never admit this, but it's almost like she wants to keep Meri here and she wants to keep Meri close so that she can, you know, still be in this powerful position of being the most preferred person in the world.
Wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she just keeps saying over and over and over ad nauseum, you know, I just want Kody to figure it out. She keeps saying, figure it out with Meri, figure it out with Janelle. I'm telling him to figure it out.
That's what she said all last season about Christine. Figure it out.
Right.
Figure what out, Robyn?
Figure what
Please
out?
Explain to me what these women have figured out that they don't want to be with him anymore.
Right.
What is he supposed to be figuring? You know, what? So it's back on him.
And he's said so many times, including in this episode, so many times that he does not want to be in a relationship with Meri. That he's now come to a point where he gets along with her.
Yeah, they're friends.
They're friends, but he does not want to be, and they're not very good friends because he never calls her or talks to her. But he does not want to. He's been saying for years he does not want to be in a relationship with her. Nothing's that they have figured it out. That is that. And Meri has been staying there out of obligation or delusion, whatever. But finally, I am happy for Meri.
Yeah.
I think she has finally come to her senses, but she has to tiptoe around Robyn.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, but I think she's tiptoeing around Robyn. And at the same time, though, I think, you know what it is? It's that final thing where Meri's been this entire time has been really, really unhappy, but with this small percentage of hope, small percentage that something would change. And by her, that's why she keeps backtracking and saying, I don't want it to seem like I'm leaving the family. I'm giving up or I'm leaving the family, because she has that little bit of hope. And that's, I think, the hardest part about any relationship ending is, I see this with my clients all the time, where it's so hard because a relationship ends, and when it's really finally done, it's like you let all that hope go of this ever working. Because when people are in this weird in-between place, there's always hope. There's always this hope that it could be better. There's a dream, there's something. And it's almost this feeling of, you know, I have to let that go. I have to let that completely go. So I think this is why Meri can't just be like, I'm selling this place, I'm moving to Utah, peace out. It's like, I have to keep this sliver, because if I close this door, then it will never be. It will never, ever happen.
They'll never let me back in.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all people just need, that little sliver of hope to keep going. But she seems so unhappy. I mean, how lonely when she said, I was pretty much here on my own for COVID, like 2 years of no one calling her, no one checking up on her, no one cares. Yeah. You know, all of that. And
if it wasn't for the filming of the show, like, she'd never see these people.
Yes.
So Robyn then, she continues to make this all about her.
Oh, but she does tell Janelle, well, Kody does talk about seeing you out on the property, you know, us all moving out to the property and seeing you there. And it's like,
but in
what capacity? And maybe you're all talking about the property, and maybe Robyn says, yeah, and Meri can come, and he'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. But but again, she keeps but she's perpetuating this.
Right.
That's why it's so cruel. And the thing is, she has this awareness. She said it. Maybe I'm being selfish about this. It's like, yeah, okay, Robyn. So you're aware that this is selfish. You really are aware of this. So at the same time, but you're going to continue to dangle these carrots in front of her, knowing that that's what's going to hold on to her, versus being really, really like being her friend and supporting her and saying, go.
Also, I think Robyn's a little bit in the dark, not a little bit, a lot, because she basically says that Kody does not talk to her about this. About Meri, or probably any.
I think he does.
Any of it.
You think that he keeps his? I think he talks to Robyn about everything.
Well, I don't know. She said that he didn't talk to her about it. I don't know if that's the truth or not. But I just wrote down here: does Robyn believe all this? I mean, just. Yeah,
I don't know.
What does Kody tell her? What does she believe? It's very hard to tell. It's hard to tell if she is acting or if she's either acting or she is so clueless. Like she has no idea how bad these relationships are, what's going on.
I don't know. Every time I look about anything online, everybody is like, she's manipulative, she's terrible, she's this, she's that. And I don't know. I guess I always come back to the fact that I just don't think she's that smart. Like, I just don't think she's that smart. And for all of the talk about how she speaks Kody and she's so perceptive and she's so this or that, it's like, she really isn't. No. She's not able to see what's happening in between any of this. Because again, she brings up this whole thing again, because again, it's all about her. She says, I'm so consumed about everything that's, going on in the family. She's depressed. She's unhappy. And then she brings up the other part of, what was she talking about? Oh, she says that she doesn't want to live monogamy and she's angry and she feels tricked.
Yeah.
Again with the tricked, and that she's pissed that people are making choices that affect her. I'm like, yeah, Robyn.
Yeah, they have free will, Robyn.
They have the right to make choices that affect you. Yes. And I'm sorry. That's what was going to happen no matter what.
Yeah. She keeps throwing out these lines. Like she says, Kody's very angry. Kody's not even trying. No one is trying.
Yeah.
It's like, you really just don't, again, is it that you really have no idea what's going on here, or are you just a selfish bitch? I mean,
maybe, yeah.
Which one is it?
But again, I just don't think she's that good of an actor. So that means that all of these confessionals, she would be having to pretend to be someone if she's not. Like, that's the part about it that I just don't. That's why she perplexes me. She really does, because I don't know if she's masterful and she's gotten us all fooled and she's been manipulating the situation, or if she's just incredibly stupid,
just dumb,
and doesn't understand anything that's going on ever. Yeah. But I don't know. That really, really bothers me that she's very aware of the fact that she says, sometimes I debate whether or not to tell her to go be happy, and other times to stay here and fight for the family. It's like, oh my God, that is so, don't you see, like, that alone should make you pause for a second and ask yourself, why am I doing that?
Yeah, you can see this woman is suffering. God, just let her go. Yeah, and then, then we have keep cutting to Kody.
Oh, Lord, Kody.
Talking about how hard this is for him, and he's talking about how divorce is embarrassing. I think that's really...
Yeah, and it's a dishonor.
Line. It's a dishonor. I don't know.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to him. It's embarrassing to him that this is happening and that it's happening. Yeah. I think he's
all
also super. Yeah, I was going to say, it's also really embarrassing that it's like a house of cards. Like, it's all coming down at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was him that said this or it was Robyn said everyone had a chance to have a good relationship with the family. Again, they both blame the other people.
Yes.
None of this has anything to do with Kody, even though he's the common denominator.
This was the other thing too that Robyn was saying, that apparently what Robyn, see, this is why I do believe that Kody's talking to her, because Robyn says to Meri that apparently Christine told Kody, which we know is not true, that that one of the things that Kody's upset about is that Christine destroyed the past for him because she went and said to him, I was so unhappy. I was so miserable. I hated my life. It was terrible. And this is what I love. It's like, no, Kody, I was not there for the conversation, but I bet you $1 million that I was unhappy, Kody. This was going on. That was going on. She never would have said she hated her whole life. That's not the truth. But but the thing is that he's such a freaking narcissist that if he even hears for 1 millisecond that
he did something wrong,
that he has some role in this, then it's like, well, she just destroyed my past. She just says everything's terrible.
Well,
because everything's so black and white.
Go back and look. I mean, we've been rewatching this show, and Christine says over and over again, she loved polygamy.
Yeah.
Till Robyn came along. She loved raising her kids with Janelle and
kind of sort of
Meri. She was happy. She was the third wife. It was the last wife. It was easy.
Yeah.
And then when Robyn came into the family, she repeatedly tried to tell Kody, this is hard for me.
Yes.
And he even admitted it an episode or two ago where his biggest regret is when Christine came to him and said, you know, I'm having a really hard time with polygamy, that he maybe should have listened to her and not just blown her off.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but that doesn't fly 2 episodes later to just completely flip the script.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Kody. He forgets all this stuff is recorded.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever works for him in that moment in time. But that makes me think that Robyn just eats up everything that he says, that everything's really, really hard. So that's why I think that Robyn keeps saying, well, they should just work on it. Because what she's hearing from Kody is just one side of his side of how he's this horrible victim and it's so terrible. And
maybe Robyn should watch some past episodes.
Yeah.
She could see what Christine was really doing and saying. And then Meri tells Robyn that she would like her help in telling Kody. Because she knows that even though Kody doesn't want her, and as she says, he's done with her and whatever, you know he's going to have a problem with this.
Yes.
And I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out, but he's going to manage to make her feel like shit about it.
Probably.
Next week.
Yes. That's a prediction.
Yeah.
Oh, and then this other thing that Meri said, that she and Robyn are the only ones willing to have these hard conversations. Like, so now Mary's making it seem like she and Robyn are the only ones that care about the family. And they're the only ones who want peace and want the family to get back together because they're the only ones willing to have the hard conversations. It's like, no, what? Huh? Yeah. Of course, Christine and Janelle are willing to have hard conversations. They just don't want to have them anymore with Kody.
They're done because they tried and it never got anywhere.
Yeah, Christine, because it sucks to have a conversation with him.
Nancy come on their honeymoon trip and talk all about the relationship.
Yeah,
but that didn't. But guess what? Nothing changed with Kody.
Yeah,
everything stayed the same.
Yeah. So yeah. Interesting.
Wow, it was a lot.
It was a lot. And then what else was Kody doing? Kody had some winners. He's like, I don't think Janelle realizes that 80-90% of separations end in divorce. It's like, oh no, I think she knows.
I think she knows. she's right there at about 80-90%. She'll be at 100% pretty soon.
Well, we saw scenes for next week where they're going on a date together, she and Kody, and Kody is beyond giddy. I'm like, he's going to 7-Eleven and buying condoms. He is so excited. He thinks this is, this is going to all happen. And I don't know what Janelle is thinking. I don't know. Hopefully Janelle does leave him, so we know she stays strong.
Yeah.
But I'm Janelle, what are you doing?
I think that date might just be the confirmation she needs that she's making the right decision.
Yes. That this is not going to work. And then one of the things that Kody said was when he was talking about Janelle, he's like, I don't know if I have anything to offer Janelle. It's like, okay.
Well,
so then why do you want her back? Like, what is happening here? So he just talks.
Yeah.
He just talks and talks and talks and talks and
He's
talks.
just running circles in his head, trying to
figure out
how did I get here?
Yeah. How do I get here? And how do I get out of this without looking like a complete jerk?
Yeah.
And too late. Sorry. But yeah, it was kind of a weird episode. It felt very short because then it ended and I'm like, oh, it's over already? Oh, okay. But it was
45 minutes.
I know. I believe
Yeah.
you. I believe it was 40 some odd minutes. It just felt really short. Unlike that one episode with Janelle and Kody in the fight. Like that was like, oh my God, we still have a half hour left. I'm spent from this fight. But this felt, this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth felt just really short. But apparently nobody's doing anything. Like nobody has a life outside of this. If this is all we're showing, right, is just these conversations.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is doing anything interesting.
I guess. Well, I mean, I guess they have to document the unraveling.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be done step by step because,
And beat it to death.
This is a historical, important historical thing. But I had some things that I saw on the socials.
Oh, okay.
These things came from Tony and McKelty's Patreon or whatever it is. And then also, I guess Gwen on her Patreon was talking about Christine. So anyway, so the thing with Tony and McKelty,
you talk about the flavors of ice cream?
no, this was a viewer asked about why Meri was not invited to Christmas Day. Remember when Meri was there on Christmas Eve, but when McKelty and Truly and Isabel came, Meri wasn't there. And McKelty said that she did not invite Meri or asked that Meri, not be invited.
No, we said that. We predicted. We said that's probably why.
Yeah. Well, she said it. She confirmed.
Okay. She confirmed it.
Yes. She said she did it to protect her and her daughter from Meri. Because there was a previous Patreon a while back where, she was asked about how she felt about Meri after Peyton had talked about Meri. And she said that basically Meri would never be part of her or her children's lives ever.
Okay.
So she really hates her.
Yeah. Which also, again, makes it really hard for Christine to want to have a relationship with Meri.
With Meri, right.
I mean, that's the thing about, Meri talks about this at one point about like how she's been upset with everybody in the family and that people, that we've all hurt each other. Everyone's been disappointed in each other. And that's family. And that's understandable when those things happen, with family, people hurt you, you move through it and you move on. But it just sounds like some of this has been so toxic to the point where you don't even want to be in the same room as this person. Right. I'm like, that to me shows that that it was really, really bad. And I don't blame Christine for wanting to keep her distance from Meri.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep going.
Okay, so then Gwen, she says that Kody and David have met.
Oh.
And of course, Kody doesn't like David.
Of course. What did Kody say about him?
Shocking.
Anything?
I don't know. And
Kody just saw him and said, I don't like him.
She said that they met at an event that was honoring Gwen or had to do with Gwen. I'm sure that was her wedding. Because do you know, I don't think we talked about this. You know that Kody showed up 2 hours late?
Oh, he did to Gwen's wedding?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's footage of him there.
Yes. Yeah.
But he was not there, when they were all taking the pictures and stuff. No, it was like dark, I think, when he got there.
So was there a ceremony or was it just for the reception?
I don't know. I don't know where the ceremony was, but he was 2 hours late to that reception.
Unreal.
And it had something to do with, they didn't want to bring the little kids because it was at a bar and I don't know. They had some excuses, and so I guess then the older kids had to stay and watch the little kids, so that's why they weren't there. And they showed up late, probably because there was a lot of anxiety over having to face all of these people, and including David.
Or Kody felt like I'm going to be really late, and they're going to wonder where I am, and then they'll be so excited and surprised when I show up, or something crazy. I mean, I think he's that delusional that he thinks that he's going to make some grand entrance. Because, the person in our life who's not our favorite person also would be late to a lot of things
like that,
and is late to a lot of things thinking that they too are going to make some grand entrance and that people are going to care. And it's like, ugh, you're here. Oh, you're here now. Great. All right.
Exactly.
You know, people who think their presence is more important than it is.
Yeah. And then she was reacting to the Christmas episode, season 18, episode 4, I think it was. And she said that she was not invited to Christmas 2021 by her mom or her dad.
Oh, Gwen
said
that?
this.
Oh,
on her Patreon.
Wow. Okay.
Don't know what that's about.
Well, do you think it's because Peyton was there at Christine's?
Well, then why didn't Kody invite her?
Well, Kody can't even remember Savannah. Come on.
I know.
Of course, Kody was too into his own stuff.
Because that's Christine's kid. I don't know.
Or
someone who's kind of been talking shit about him on her Patreon.
And they don't.
I guess
they don't have an environment in which to meet. That's the problem. There's no environment for him to meet Gwen.
There's no home that he can go to. Yeah.
And just show up for 5 minutes and say, hey, kids, and move away.
And then she also said that Christine and Kody were equally terrible off camera about their divorce.
Oh, interesting. So that Christine came across, she came across on the show as so calm, cool, collected, just like, okay.
Yeah.
But I guess she was a bit of a nightmare-ish.
Well, I don't know.
Not nightmare, sorry.
Yeah, what does that mean, equally terrible? I don't know. I mean, yeah, she probably was talking shit about him in their home. And, I mean, what else could she have done to him? Nothing. I mean, besides just talk shit about him. There's really nothing.
Yeah. Well, I think...
But she didn't do it on camera, and she didn't do it in the press or anything.
I don't know. I think this one it's hard, right? When parents get divorced, I don't know if we talked about this before, but there's always this debate about whether or not is it better or worse for kids to know what's going on. And I think what's so hard is when you get divorced and you have grown children, I think parents forget.
Right.
And they talk to their kids like they're their girlfriends and friends, not realizing, well, this is also their father and they need to have a relationship with him. And I hear this all the time from my clients. I think that especially if you've had divorced parents, especially if maybe you got divorced young, I kind of feel like once we got older, the floodgates started coming out. Like people started telling us more and being honest. And at the same time, you're like, oh, did I really need to know any of this? So I could have lived my whole life without having any of this information.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really do feel because they have 6 kids together and it's divorce and it sucks. And it's hard for Gwen and Peyton and McKelty and, Isabel, truly.
Yeah, and it's a bitter divorce.
Aspen,
Kody,
all of them.
Cody will never get over this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because Robyn keeps talking about that. She keeps saying Christine really messed him up bad.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to blame her again on this? Okay. All right. Keep going.
So what else? Let's see. I think Gwen she was mad with her mom. She says Kody is not the only person who was a narcissist.
Oh.
So
she's saying maybe her mom?
That's what she's saying. I don't know. She was clearly really, something's
happening.
I don't know why she goes on these things and says these things. She's admittedly, she says she's autistic, right?
Yeah, she believes that she's probably on the spectrum somewhere, I believe.
I don't know if she just sometimes can't help herself or she doesn't think these things through. But I feel, and even when she's doing her show, she's doing her reactions, sometimes the way that she answers questions are so matter-of-factly. Like she'll answer these very serious questions very matter-of-factly, and I don't know if that's like
it might be
spectrum thing.
Yeah. But I see pictures on Instagram of her with her sisters.
Yeah.
And so obviously they're all still talking in each other's lives and all of that. So I'm surprised. So, I wonder if she's calling Christine a narcissist or is there someone else who's a narcissist? I don't know.
But they just recently went on that trip to the United Kingdom and Ireland and stuff. And,
but she wasn't there.
Gwen
wasn't there.
No, neither was Peyton.
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be hard. Like, obviously those two are problematic and this just throws off the whole family dynamic. But anyway, she also said that she felt like the producers want to make Christine a hero and Kody a villain. I don't know. She's all over the place because she said some terrible things about Kody.
Yeah.
But then she'll defend him and vice versa. I don't know. And then a little interesting thing, despite all of this, Christine paid for her breast reduction surgery.
Oh, she had breast reduction?
Yeah.
Gwen? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. She posted on Instagram about it not that long ago. She had picture before and after pictures. And
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So anyway,
You know Cody's not paying for it, you know.
Oh, no. And he will not go to the surgery with you to hold your hand or give you a ride home or anything.
Yeah, don't expect flowers. Don't expect a thing.
No.
So
you're on your own.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that that's what the producers have done? Do you think that it's been, because obviously you and I, we're very slanted in how we see things. And I always have to I always try to ask myself, like, okay, what else could be true about this? Are we missing something? Have we thought that this is all one-sided and such? But the problem is that, we just have so much footage. We just have so much footage. And yes, Christine's had her moments, as we all have. And, Kody isn't all bad. Nobody is all one thing. Kody isn't all bad. There probably are some redeeming qualities in there. So I don't think it's that. But I just find it hard to believe that, people always blame edits for things. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like they would really have to cherry pick and manipulate situations to make people seem that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't think that the editing is that great.
No. And I think the thing with Kody is that throughout this whole process, he has not once ever taken responsibility for anything, any part of this. Christine has. She has said, I admit, I didn't like polygamy.
I was jealous.
Yeah. I had jealousies. I tried. I couldn't get over it. I tried with Robyn. But I always felt that her family, her kids got, better treatment. And she didn't even want me to babysit her kids. And she had legitimate things, and she took responsibility for her own behavior. And at the end of the day, she just made a decision that she didn't want to live polygamy anymore. She didn't say, all you people are horrible and I hate you all. I felt she was very pleasant and just trying to make a graceful exit. She just said, polygamy is not for me. And then again, Kody admitted that she came to him in the past and said, I don't like polygamy. This is too hard for me. He ignored her.
Yeah.
And he has never taken responsibility for his role in his relationship with her. Everything is her fault.
Well, yeah, because he said in this latest episode,
mean to Robyn. Yeah.
Well, in this latest episode, he says, I just don't think Christine was cut out for polygamy. And it's like, well, she was happy with it before Robyn came. So I don't think that's necessarily true, but it's, you're absolutely right that it's never his fault. It's polygamy's fault. It's the institution, and Christine wasn't meant to be. So now this is why she's not happy. It's like, no, she was happy before. Yeah. It's just that what she described about how she would host something in her house, and it was like Kody would come as a guest, and then he and Robyn would host something, and it was like they were a couple. And I cannot imagine how difficult that would be, and just these subtle moments that the kids probably never even noticed, but you could feel as the person, because we all know what it's like to host, and when you have someone who's hosting with you and someone who's a guest, it's like that feeling must be so hard to then go to Robyn's and watch him.
Sure,
do
the
all
older
this.
kids picked up on it.
Yeah,
and just the comments that Kody made, and the comments about he was never attracted to her. I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah, the nachos, everything. Yeah.
I mean, so
no, she does. I'm okay. Fine. I'm back on where I was before. I tried to be introspective for a minute, but I do try to see. I want to always see the other side, but I guess you're right.
We've just been through, there's been too much.
We've just been through so much with Kody. We just can't.
There's too much evidence. There's too much footage. There's just too much.
Ay. All right. Well, that's another episode of Sister Wives. Oof, throwing in the towel.
Yeah. This is an exhausting season.
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
Yes, it is. All right.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week.
Oh, tell them what's happening tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we are taking a break from the Sister Wives Rewind because 2 days of Kody a
It's
week.
just too much.
It's just too much.
We just can't.
We can't. So what we're doing is tomorrow there will be an episode out where we're covering Love is Blind.
Ooh, we had a very
Season
lengthy
5.
discussion about that.
Yes, we're covering episodes 1 through 7, and we'll be covering that on Tuesdays until it's over. And then we're going to, get back into some more documentaries and other things. Because one day of Sister Wives is enough, We'll let that.
We can get back to our rewind in a bit. I mean, I don't know if we have to wait until this entire season's over, but we just need a little break.
We need a little break.
And we do like Love is Blind.
Yeah,
it is a hot mess.
It's really good.
If you've not watched it, it is a giant hot mess of messiness.
Yeah.
The messiest people ever. So
binge it on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at PsychLegalPop. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and also leave us a 5-star rating and review.
And spread the word. Spread the word. We have lots of new listeners, which is very exciting. And we obviously want to build the podcast and keep moving forward. So if you enjoy the podcast, please tell a friend.
Yeah, or share it. You can share an episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, at least on Apple, you just click a button. It's right on the screen. I can't tell you which one, but
we can't tell you how to do it.
You'll figure it out.
It is feasible.
It's on there.
If you're younger than we are, you probably already know how to do it.
You already know this, yeah. You're like, oh, no kidding.
You idiot old people.
Ladies.
I know all this newfangled technology, but yeah, spread the word. Spread the word. All right.
Thanks. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellows wherever you get your podcasts.